I think probably one of the biggest things that we had some changes with in our life we had to do. When MJ started this a couple years ago, she was just kind of part-time coaching, and I was still a full-time real estate broker. I worked my brokerage out of the house. And after I went to national conference with her. I told her, I said, we got to do this full-time. I said, this is something, I see the aspect of it, being self-employed for so many years. So that's when she set a goal. Once we decided to do this full-time, not long after that, we were blessed with 2 grandchildren. And so we started babysitting from the very get-go, doing Mondays and Tuesdays and Thursdays. And about, let's say, 8 months ago, we got together with Greg on the phone, and he helped us do a structural tension chart. We weren't really growing like I wanted to do. And I'm 60 years old now, and I didn't want to wait till I'm 70 before I became successful at it. Although with Take Shape of Life and losing my weight, I figure I can put another 30 years on my life, so that's the way I'm looking at it. But I don't want to wait till I'm really on a walker before I really get to be global. I don't want to have to go up there on a walker. So, yeah, I'm following it. So one of the things I decided to do, and I told MJ this, and this was really, really difficult, I said, we got to cut back on the babysitting. That was hard for me to do. And so we did that. We cut it down to at least 2 days a week. And also when we have something come up with Take Shape for Life, we say, hey, find a babysitter, we're out of here, we're going out of town. The other big changer for me was when we did, like I said with Craig, we did a structural tension chart. That gave me a vision of where to go, and it gave me, it's like doing a business plan, and that was perfect. You did a great job at it. And if you have not done a structural tension chart for yourself, you need to do it, because that'll really start getting you going. Because when you have that in front of you, you go, okay, I got to do this, 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 and this, and this to get to here. And so it's always a constant reminder. If you don't have it in front of you, you're going to forget. Something's going to distract you, and you're going to do something else. And you're not going to achieve your goals. So that's very, very important. The other big thing was when I went to Go Global. That was a huge eye-opener for me. I started using, actually what MJ and I did up here was collecting yeses. And I do it on everybody now. And especially like what Greg was saying, you get all these stupid phone calls at home all the time, salespeople. I turn it around on them. I let them say their thing after and say, you got a second? Can I talk to you? Let me give you a quick story. The last 3 days I've gotten those calls and I've gotten their emails and I've sent them information. It works. All I'm doing is sharing. Yeah, and they don't call back. I don't know why not. But I'm planting seeds what I'm doing. And each time, each one of them said, I do have somebody that might need to lose some weight, or I have somebody that's a diabetic that could help. So, we'll just wait and see what happens there. So that was my big paradigm change right there. And then our business really started to explode this year because of that.
MJ, you only have 2 seconds.
Oh, I only have 2 seconds?
No, we're supposed to.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was between the two of us. One of the big things that I did was I made the choice to walk away from a full-time job. I'm that person that counts every penny every month, and I'm looking at what we can afford and what we can't afford. And oh my gosh, what happens next month? And all of this. So I was, I really had to trust in it, and it was something that I prayed a lot about, and I needed to know whether I could do that thing or not. And it's not like some big thing happened. It was just like something went click, and I knew it was time for me to walk away. So I did. I walked away from that job. And what was amazing is when we put our effort and we put our heads together and devoted that time into putting it into the business and doing it professionally as a full-time job, we recovered my income within 3 months. What's happened recently, of course, Go Global was huge for us to go to. It was one of those things where like, wow, can we afford to do this? Can we afford to be away? Can we, all of these different things fell in. And we called our mentorship. You cannot imagine, if you haven't done it, your mentorship is absolutely the most valuable people in the world you can talk to. Because James said, if you guys can figure a way to make this thing happen in the next 4 months, you do not want to miss it. So we did. We really ramped up the business. We could afford, we paid off the plane tickets before we used the plane tickets. That was wonderful. We managed to make it happen. But some of the little things that you see here today, the structural tension you see, something you haven't seen but you've probably heard about it, the client tracker. When you seriously start picking up all the little tiny pieces and you put them all together and you start working those in a month, oh my gosh, your business will explode. Just listen to your mentors, trust them, and just do it. Just
Take the
follow
action.
everything that is already made for you. Take that action and watch it happen.
Excellent. I've introduced Jamil. He's a global director from Los Angeles area. He came, or Long Beach to be specific. He comes down from time to time and tell us a little bit about what would be something you had to kind of let go of or make room, and then about conference.
Yeah, so how many here are coaches currently? Okay, good. Now, how many people want to grow their businesses this year? All right. So for me, it was pretty simple. Like, just you have to get really clear on what it is that you actually want. What I found, especially when I first started coaching, is I didn't know what I actually wanted. I thought that I knew what I actually wanted, but I didn't really know. And it took a night for me to figure out what it was that I actually wanted. And once that happened, it got very easy to start maneuvering some of the stuff that wasn't going to help me get there and start adding some stuff in that was going to help me get there. So one of the games I like to play with myself is, okay, is what I'm doing right now going to help me get closer to where it is that I want to be? Or is it going to keep me the same, or is it going to move me further away? But you can only play that game if you actually know what it is that you want. And most people don't spend enough time figuring that out. So once I figured that out, which just happened to be my first night at National Convention in 2012, I've been coaching for about a month. I made the decision that I was going to start chasing that life. So when I came back home, immediately one of the first things I did was I told my wife that our nights were going to look different. Like, we weren't going to be watching TV all the time. We were such reality show, yeah, like everything. And what's funny is, it's funny I'm up here right now because on Wednesday, I just happened to be sitting on the couch and I saw the dance show that I really like. What's that dance show? So You Think You Can Dance. It was on Wednesday, and I was literally sitting there. I was like, I haven't seen this show in like 2 years. So we stopped watching. I stopped watching the same shows. I stopped, hanging out with some of the people I used to hang out with. I started to change my relationships for sure. I started to have more quality time. I started to set my calendar, and for me, I needed to start really investing in things that were going to help me. One of the things that wasn't helping me was my job. So while I was at National Convention, for me, I decided that wasn't going to help me get to where I ultimately wanted to be. So I made a decision that within 3 months I would leave, and it took me about 2 months to leave it. So there's a lot of things that needed to be changed for sure in order for me to get to where I wanted to be. I played college football, and so one of the things that I did a lot was I was on traveling flag football leagues, which kind of sounds silly now that I talk about it. But there were cash tournaments, so like my team was really good, and we would win money. So I stopped playing with them, and a lot of my buddies didn't understand. But a lot of my buddies actually now are on the team, but at first they didn't understand why I made the decision, but now they're starting to figure it out. So for me, it was just like, it was really clear. I would just look at all the activities within my life, and is that going to help me actually get to what the things are that I really want, my dreams and stuff like that? And if so, then I was going to do more of them.
Can you also share, you set the example and then you brought some people to the next conference. Tell that story real quick.
Set the example for...
Well, you went to a conference and that opened your eyes and you said, okay,
right.
Next time there's a conference, I'm bringing people with me.
It's very true. So the one thing that you'll hear like all of these guys saying who are very successful within Take Shape for Life are things like trainings, conferences. I don't know how many people say at National Convention and go global. One of the things that's been really true for me is it's going to be very challenging to have a big business within Take Shape for Life if you don't invest in yourself. The personal development is so key, and to have other people experience that with you is just going to help you expand faster. So when I went to National Convention in 2012, coaching a month, it took about a day for me to see the opportunity. It took about another night for me to make the decision it was going to be for me. One of the first things I started doing was compiling